Hey YouTube, this is JD. Hey YouTube, this is JD. Sorry, my camera started a little late. I'm coming at you with my top 15 defense of 2015. These are a little bit playing off last year, predictions for this year. So without further ado, I was gonna do a tight end video, but let's just be honest. You have Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham, and the rest are pretty much obsolete. Wasn't gonna do a tight end video. I thought about it, but I'm like, no. They got Kels, Fasano, and whoever plays with Andrew Luck are going to do well. That's pretty much it, though. So I just decided to skip a tight end video. If there's a lot of requests for it, I'll do one. But I'm just gonna skip it. Okay, top defenses. Number one is the defense I predict to go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl is the Seattle Seahawks. They've maintained most of their core. Their scheme is just very, very good. It's hard to beat. And they have the two of the best, probably the two best safeties, if not two best safety combo in the league. Richard Sherman's good. That defense just doesn't wield anything, and they have a solid running game to back the defense up. So they're my number one defense. Number two will be Buffalo. They are vastly talented, and now they have Rex Ryan at their helm. They're going to be very tough to beat, to score on. Let me say that. They could probably get beat a decent amount because their offense isn't great yet. I have a video later to predict all the QB controversy. Let's just say that, like all the who should start. Is it this guy or this guy? So Buffalo is my number two defense. They're gonna have such a good scheme, and what he did last year with the Jets, I'm pretty sure they were still a top 10 or 15 defense, and what he did last year was just amazing. So, and he has a team that's loaded now. Number three is the Jets. They improved on defense. Their new coach will make that defense a little bit better. They added Antonio Cromartie, Darrelle Revis. They lost a guy on their defensive line. I think it's with a drug suspension or something. But the guy they drafted, I think his name's like Washington or something, from USC, is freaking a stud. So, number four is Houston. I mean, any defense with J.J. Watt is automatically going to be elevated exponentially. But now they have Jadeveon Clowney back. They'll get him back at the end of the season. If you stay healthy, I'm pretty sure he's going to be very good. Their front seven is just elite. It's an elite front seven. The only issue I would question is their secondary. But we will see. We will see. I just have to put them at four because J.J. Watt is J.J. Watt. And Brian Cushing is still there, so... Number five is the Cardinals. The Cardinals were an elite defense last year. I don't think they're going to fall off very far. They have some elite guys in their secondary, and they just get after it. Their coach is a very good coach. He schemes well. So I have Cardinals barely above the next team. The next team is the Rams. The Rams have the best front seven in the league. The best front seven. And they have so much depth at that position. I don't see them giving up a lot of rushing yards I don't think their secondary is great. It's not the best secondary in the league. Don't get me wrong on that. But to be fair, if you are good at rushing the passer, you don't need a great secondary. Play zone, let the play develop a little bit longer, and give them time to get to the quarterback. Number seven is Carolina. They've just been good the last few years. I don't know what else to say. They've just been studs. Luke Kuechly, is that his name? Luke Kuechly. He's like the leader of that defense. And last year they were as good as they were last year. They didn't have Greg Hardy. Now whoever's replacing Greg Hardy, because he's with Dallas, he's gonna scheme well. They're gonna have a very good scheme, and they have more experience at that spot to replace Greg Hardy. So I just see that defense getting better. Number 8 is Miami. I don't like Miami. I never have. It's not exactly a personnel thing. It's nothing personal against the team. They just always seem to have some kind of controversy. Their coach does this, the bullying scandal. Their coach doesn't have like a great structure. And Joe Philbin, I don't think he's a good coach. Number 9 is the Ravens. The Ravens last year's defense was pretty good. Their issue was their secondary. Now, if they've addressed their secondary issue, they're going to be Like right now, they're a top 10 defense. I have them listed that way. All they have to do is fix their secondary, and they're gonna be fine. Because like the Patriots in the playoffs play the Patriots. I think the Patriots only had like 14 yards rushing, and Tom Brady had to throw the ball every down because they couldn't run on them. So maybe someone was injured and we just don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's significant. They were down 14-0 pretty quick in that game, so that might be why they threw a lot more. But I just see them as a good run stopping team, and they just gotta get their secondary together. Number 10, you have to give the benefit of the doubt to the Patriots. They have one of the best defensive coaches ever. He schemes well. He pays attention to really small details. And yeah, they lost some players, but they just seem to step up. They have guys that just step up and they maintain. And they still have Tom Brady on offense to counter anything. So maybe the goal was to get ahead early and then make teams throw it. Make teams throw it. Don't let them be balanced. Let them get them unbalanced, and it's going to help their scheme. There's a lot of ways you can do that, but maybe their goal was just to score. And then maybe they hope the other team has to throw the ball a lot more. Number 11, and this may come as a shock, is the Chiefs. They've been a consistent defensive team the last few years. Andy Reid is a good coach, and he gets a lot out of players. They're actually one of my sleepers. Their offense looks really good in preseason. Now I know it's just preseason, but their offense looks really good, and their defense flies all over the place. Speaking of defenses flying all over the place, this is my next one. The Eagles. I know the Eagles were like, I think 30th last year in yards allowed, something like that. They're really high in yards allowed. But they were high up there in takeaways, and in preseason, they are just flying to the ball. They're not yielding ground at all. I'm sure someone will figure them out because it's just preseason. Maybe they're just ahead of the curve right now, and everyone's going to catch up when the season starts. But they just look like they're all in sync. They are flying to the ball. They're all over the place. They have an attitude about them. So we'll see. Number 13 is Detroit. Detroit, it's mainly a scheme thing with me. They lost some key players, but if you have a good enough scheme and you're well enough coached, I think you can overcome that. The same with the Patriots. So I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They've been a great defense the last few years. Yes, they lost Chris Farley, and they lost maybe that's not Chris Farley, but Farley, and they lost Ndamukong Suh to Miami. So we'll see. Scheme could be a factor in that. Number 14. And I don't like this team at all, is Cincinnati. Pound for pound, man for man, they're one of the best defenses in the league. They just don't show up in big games. Same with their quarterback, same with their everything. They just don't show up in big games. Let's see here. Number 15 is the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns. Mike Pettin is a good defensive coach. They have good defenders all over the place. That was their staple last year. They were pretty good at defense last year. Like early in the season, they looked like a team destined to make the playoffs, or make a run for the division at least. And they just fell off because they didn't have a consistent quarterback situation. They didn't have receivers like Josh Gordon. That's their biggest issue. That's pretty much it. There's some teams that have question marks that could be good at defense, but I don't have to see it. Like the Denver Broncos are an example of teams that could be good at defense. Jacksonville, I watched them last night. They looked really good. They're all over the place. I think maybe they're a year away from being a complete team. Excuse me. Tampa has Lovie Smith at the helm. He's a good defensive coach. Can he put it all together? There's a lot of ifs and whats and buts. Can't rule out Rob Ryan and his Saints. I know they were bad last year, but he could fix that. He's that good a coach. Who else? Titans. Titans. That could be fixed. Okay, they have what's the coach from Pittsburgh? Shoot. Can't think of his name. But they have him. I can't think of his stupid freaking name. Can't believe I can't remember that right now. Oh well, not important. I don't have the Steelers on this list because I don't think their defense is that good. To be completely honest, I don't think his defense is that good. San Francisco could probably be formidable. Oakland might be formidable. Dallas could be good, but they keep losing people. They got guys out with injuries, guys on suspension. So, and you still don't know if your starting middle linebacker is going to be that good or be able to play and stay healthy in Sean Lee. So, those are my opinions. The Redskins, I like my Redskins. They got to show me something this year. They got to show me something. And of course, obviously, the Giants could be pretty good on defense too. Green Bay is formidable. Like, they're good at what they need to do, but I don't consider them an elite defense. And maybe Minnesota. Those are teams that are okay. There's some teams that, like Chicago. If anyone plays Chicago, you better start your players against them in fantasy. Okay, so that's my defense, my top 15 defenses. Again, I'll just run through a group. Seattle, Buffalo Jets, Houston, Cardinals, Rams, Carolina, Miami, Ravens, Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles, Detroit, Cincinnati, and Cleveland. Okay, those are my top defenses. If you like this video, share, comment, like, whatever. If you disagree with me, debate me. I don't care. See ya.